Hi Gemini, welcome to Key Wisdom Tarot. My name is Ruth, I'm your Reiki Master and Tarot Reader, and this, my darlings, is your weekly pulse for the 24th to the 30th of March. We'll have 6 cards, each will have a different message for you, and obviously I'll tell you what they mean as we go. Now, obviously this is just my contribution to raising the vibration and the raising the energy at this very difficult time. So from now on, from going forward, I'll just be doing our weekly readings for everybody, and hopefully we can it's to help us to really navigate what we're going through as the weeks and months unfold. All right, my darling. So I've already shuffled and meditated. I'll do a little bit more now on camera, and then we'll get started on your reading. Okay, that's been the base of the reading. Card at the base of your reading, my darling, is the Star card. So this is her energy. This is Aquarius's energy, isn't it? And the Star card, in a nutshell, the card at the base of the reading is really just the perspective that you need to see this week through. And for you guys, it's a Star card. Now, this card is about mental acuity, clarity, focus, logic, reason. It's about knowing. It's all knowing. So this really, the message of the Star card is, and what you're going to be feeling and thinking this week is, everything's going to be all right. That's what this card literally represents. It represents that everything's going to be all right. A knowing, a certainty that everything's going to be all right. A certainty that you may doubt, that you might tell yourself, no, why do I think everything's going to be all right? Then that's what the message coming through loud and clear is from the universe, though. Everything's going to be fine, so do not worry. Okay, so let's have a look at your individual messages. We'll look at the first row first of all. So we start off with the motivating factor, so what's moving you, what's motivating you this week. The second card is our experience, or what you're encountering and what you're experiencing this week, and that's just basically what I've said to you. And then the third the third message is your soul message, or your karmic message. So what is this week giving you? What is it showing you? What is it trying to teach you? Okay, so we start with the High Priestess, your motivating factor. So what's moving you this week? And that is your intuition. Now, it's something that you are doubting. I get this here. Your experience, what you're encountering, and what you're experiencing this week is you almost being unable to trust what your intuition's telling you, what your higher self is telling you. Your higher self is the one that governs the Star card. Your higher self is the one with all the foresight, and that's an intuitive side of yourself, if you will. And it's a part of you that knows, as I said, that everything's going to be okay, and that's something that you may doubt. But the High Priestess shows that your intuition is very strong this week. It shows that you're very much engaged with your emotional self, your emotional world, your emotional and intuitive responses to what you're actually facing and to what's unfolding for you this week. So try to remember, try to engage with that this week. Try to listen to your intuition, to your psychic self. Your psychic self, your divine feminine, is everything that is non-physical. So your beliefs, your ideas, your perspectives on things, your emotions, obviously, your instincts and your intuitive responses, all those things are governed by the High Priestess, are governed by the divine feminine, and it's about engaging with those things this week. These are the things that are actually, I should say, moving you this week. It's your intuition, it's that sense of that part of yourself that's actually moving you forward this week, that's propelling you forward, that's making you take actions. So I think you need to go with the flow, really go with the flow of what it is you're feeling, because what's happening in your mind is very different. Now, in this position number 2 is what you're encountering or what you're experiencing this week. And what you're encountering this week is the Seven of Swords. Sword energy is all about your thoughts, your mind, your clarity, your consciousness, your communication, your ability to communicate, and your ability to communicate with yourself or to think things through logically yourself. Now, 7 is a number of mystery. It forces us to ask questions. It forces us to understand, why do I think this? Why do I know this? Why do I understand this? Why is that something? And this is what I'm talking about, this doubt. The feeling, the overriding feeling this week is the star card for you. That's a perspective. The perspective is everything's going to be okay. And not only because I'm telling you everything's going to be okay, that's a feeling, a real discerning clarity that you have. And yet with the 7 of Swords, this is you doubting that certainty. Because it seems illogical almost right now to look at wherever we're living in the world, to look at whatever our current situation is as individuals. It seems maybe quite even though we're trying to be positive, it seems counterintuitive to say everything's going to be fine. But everything is really going to be fine, and you're doubting that. You're doubting that. You're feeling everything's going to be fine, and this is you doubting that. But what this is, the doubts that you're encountering and your engagement with your emotional self as well as your mental self this week, what that leads us to is what that is for this lesson. It's for this karmic message, the karmic message of the Six of Cups, the soul message and the soul message of the Six of Cups. Now, number 6s are related to our memories, our past things that have already happened, things that have been, and it's about really recognizing the importance and the significance of what has passed. It's about recognizing the importance and the significance of what has already been, how that affects your emotional self, what you learn from that, what wisdom you gain from that. So, as I said, regardless of how confusing or challenging things are or things have been, and things are this week potentially, what it's saying is that what you learn this week is to trust and to listen to your emotional self, and to trust and to listen to your intuition. You have an opportunity this week, Gemini, to engage further with your divine feminine, to engage further with your psychic self, if you will, your non-physical self. You have the opportunity to do that this week. So it'll be interesting when we look at this card here, which is really the focus for your meditations this week. What I encourage you to, the message of this week, I should say, it's really going to be important to see how that's going to manifest for you as you move forward. So we'll move on to the next row of cards now. So this is your love potential, your love lesson for this week, and we've got the 4 of Pentacles. This number 5 is your challenge this week, or the power this week, and then finally your gain. So this is what to consider in meditation. When we have our mindful moments, I encourage everyone, all of us, to make some quiet time each day just to connect with yourself. 5 minutes, doesn't matter how long it is, but just reflect, consider and think over, how this message can help you to find peace and reassurance this week. And this one is a 7 of Pentacles. So we've got some pentacles in the second row for us. So first of all, let's move to love. Now 4 is about our structures and our foundations in our life. And this is really, I always say to you, this card is about consolidation. Pentacles energy is where we put our energy and effort in order to manifest security. And look at, it's really this is literally how we are living right now. There's all this, the world outside, and we're here, we're trying to shore up our money, we're trying to make sure we've got enough food, we're trying to make sure we've got enough resources. This is you showing self-love. This is you displaying love of self. This is you displaying love of the life that you have built, no matter how meager or our life seemingly is. And when you're in these type of situations, you really kind of see where you're at. Do you know what I mean? You really kind of see what you've got, what this whole life you've been leading, what it's given you, if that makes sense, what you've achieved in that life. And regardless of how meager seemingly your life is, ultimately what this is showing is that by consolidating, by firming up or shoring up this week, whatever resources you have, by doing that, what it's showing you is self-love. If this is someone that you're separated from potentially, this could be, it could be an earth sign, a Taurus, a Virgo, or a Capricorn. Okay, so next you come to the challenge this week. The challenge this week is potentially for you about feeling confident and feeling like you are, like you own this, like you've got this, like you can do this. Like that might be a challenge. And obviously that's a challenge. I suppose you're saying, Ruth, you're not telling anything we don't know. Do you know what I mean? Like we're all feeling like that this week. But you know, we've got 4 and we've got 4. The 4th house, I always talk about the 4th house in astrology. The 4th house in astrology is about your home, property, family life, place of birth, where you come from, your roots, but also the structures in our lives and the foundations in our lives. And that's things that we're all assessing right now. Of course, we're all assessing our foundations and where we're from and if we've got enough of everything and the structures in our lives. We're all assessing those things. And the challenge for you, it seems, is that you may be challenged to feel confident, and that's because of this consolidation. That's because, you know, you're trying to organize things, you're trying to get things together, you're trying to shore yourself up, okay? But the interesting thing is this card here, the mindful moment or the gain aspect. You know, what should you be focused on? What's the questions of this energy? Now this is 7 of Pentacles. So remember, Pentacles, where you put your energy and effort in order to manifest security. Number 7 is mystery. What am I doing to ensure my security? These are the type of questions that you want to be asking yourself during your quiet moments, your mindful moments, your meditative spaces this week. What am I doing? Is it working for me? Is it making me feel more secure? This is that. So those people that are going out panic buying, for example, I don't judge anyone because I know that I can't afford to do that. But I don't get paid till this week, so I've got no cards. But anyway, I don't blame people for that because I understand that that's a manifestation of anxiety, as is, you know, watching news from the moment that you wake up until the moment that you go to sleep, which is what I was doing. You know, these are, you know, as is, you know, volunteering, oh, I'm going to help all these people. They're all great things that we do, but they're also things that they are actually aware that our anxiety is manifested. So in your mindful moments this week, in your meditative moments this week, what I want you to focus, what the message of this card is it's asking you, where am I applying my energy? Why is it not making me feel secure? Because there's people now, apparently, over the last 3 weeks, in the UK a lot. In the UK, people have bought over £1 billion pounds worth of extra food. So there's 1 billion of food sitting in cupboards, like all around the country. None of it's in my cupboards, but no, I'm joking. But those people, do you feel better? So if you're one of those people, you've got all this food here, you've got everything there, is it making you feel more secure? Are my actions making me feel secure? Because they're not. The reason they are not is not because you're not doing the right thing, you're not responding in the right way. Of course you are. You're responding in the way that you're going to respond. There's no precedence for this. We're all just doing what we're doing, yeah? But really what it's asking you is the practical stuff really is fine. It's really about the engagement with your emotional self and your mental self now. It's really about understanding how the unfolding of this situation is actually impacting on you. So in your mindful moments, you're going to be looking, this is you having all the stuff stocked up in all the fridge stocked and the freezer stocked and the cupboard stocked and the pantry stocked and all the overflow stock. You've got everything, but you're still feeling like this. Well, of course you're still feeling like this because we all, as everyone's going to realise, it doesn't matter how much food you've got in the house, the security, the things that help us to feel secure aren't necessarily those things for you as an individual, and that's different for everybody. So for you guys this week, Gemini, for your mindful moment, what do you need to consider in meditation? This is what you need to consider. What am I doing to ensure my security, and how is that making me feel? how is that making me feel, and what is that making me think? Because actually by confronting that in meditation, by reflecting on that in meditation, you gain something. You gain the Six of Cups, which is an appreciation for what you've been experiencing, regardless of how difficult or challenging it's been. You understand this, that by the end of the week, you'll get to an appreciation of, I get it now. I get why I did that. I understand why I responded that way. I understand, that I've learned more about myself. I understand more about who I am as an individual, etc., etc., etc. So it's really worth engaging on that level this week, because you really do gain a lot from it, okay? And ultimately, as we know, everything's going to be all right. Okay, my darlings. So I hope you like that reading. As I said, I'm going to be back next week with a brand new reading for you. This is, as I said, my contribution. What do I call it? Positive realism, because that's exactly what this is. We're in a situation that none of us know anything about, and I am doing my bit to help out and to raise the vibration and to give that injection of energy that we're all really in need of right now. Give this reading a thumbs up. You can follow Key Wisdom Tarot on Instagram, on Facebook. Don't forget to check out the Key Wisdom playlist for everything mindfulness, meditation, Reiki and tarot. You can find out about how to meditate consciously, and you can also find out about writing mantras, all sorts of things in the Key Wisdom playlist, as well as all sorts of things on my, Instagram. Oh, the Leap You Blessing, that's a good one actually. But yeah, as well as a lot of stuff on my Instagram. So you can check out my Instagram on Key Wisdom Tarot and follow me on there as well. Okay, my darlings, thank you so much for being here. Have a wonderful week, Gemini. Stay safe, look after yourself, okay? Show yourself that love and give yourself that time and that space to reflect on how this is making you feel, okay? Take care, my darlings. Bye.